it is that essence that comprises track and field. Therefore, it seems appropriate that track and field should return to one of the world's cradles of civilization, Rome, for its first ever Grand Prix track and field championships. Surrounded by the ancient ruins of the Eternal City, you will see the women's 3,000-meter rematch between Mary Decker-Slaney, Zola and Olympic champion Marichika Puwika, plus the men's 1,500 meters with Steve Scott and the world's greatest pole vaulters, all competing to be named track and field's Grand Prix champions. NBC Sports presents the IAAF Grand Prix Track and Field Championships from Rome.
This NBC Sports special presentation of the IAAF Grand Prix Championships is brought to you by...
Located within the city, the Vatican, the heart of the Roman Catholic Church. Reaching back through time, the Roman Forum, the commercial, religious, and political center of the ancient Caesars. And still standing, the Colosseum, built between 70 and 80 AD, the accepted symbol of Rome and her eternal destiny. In contrast, Stadio Olimpico, site of the 1960 Olympic Games, and also the future site of the 1987 World Track and Field Championships. Hi everybody, I'm Charlie Jones, and track and field history is going to be made here tonight in Rome. The IAAF Grand Prix Track and Field Championships. It all started back in May at the Bruce Jenner Classic in San Jose, California. A brand new concept this year, a total of 15 track and field events held in 13 countries, arriving here in Rome tonight for the finals. And after tonight, the top individual point achiever in each event will receive $10,000, and the top female athlete, the top male athlete, to receive a total of $25,000. In all, more than $500,000 will be distributed to track and field athletes from around the world. So a lot
not raced against each other over 3,000 meters since the Los Angeles Games. Now, Mary has beaten Marichika in a 3,000-meter race, and she's beaten Zola in another 3,000-meter race, but they haven't raced together. Believe it or not, I think all three athletes are in better condition than they were last year in Los Angeles. So for those people who want to speculate on what might have happened if Mary hadn't fallen down, maybe we can put the issue to rest tonight.
And it seems only fitting that since the Grand Prix series started with the Bruce Jenner Track and Field Classic, that Bruce is with us tonight. And at the pole vault, you have an unbelievable field of contestants.
We've got 7 19-foot vaulters. We've got Bubka from the Soviet Union, who just went 6 meters. The first person ever to do that. That's over 19 feet 8 inches. We've got Kino of France, who won the gold in Los Angeles. We've got Mike Tully, who took the silver. Earl Bell of the United States and Villeron of France both shared the bronze medal. So we got 2 bronze medalists. We've got the silver medalist, we got the gold medalist, we got the world record holder, plus we got the facility. Last year, 2 world records in the pole vault were set at this facility. We've got everything. I'm looking for a big one, plus we got a lot of other field events, and I'll keep you up to date on those.
The first running event will be the men's 110-meter hurdles. This is the only event that will have heats. There will be 2 heats, with the first 3 qualifying from each heat, plus the next 2 fastest times moving into the finals. Here are the lane assignments. Lane 1 is open, and Carlos Zola of Spain is in lane 2. In lane 3 is Stéphane Carestan of France. He won the World Indoor Games in Paris. In lane 4, this is the favorite, Greg Foster of the United States, Olympic silver medalist, and the 1983 world champion. Next to Greg in lane 5 is Mark McCoy of Canada. And McCoy, with an excellent early start this season, is leading the Grand Prix in this event. In lane 6 from the United States is Al Joyner, the Olympic champion, the gold medalist in the triple jump. In lane 7 from the Soviet Union is Igor Kazanov in lane 7. And in lane 8 from the United States, Sam Turner rounding out the field in heat number 1.
Charlie, Greg Foster has been out of commission really the first part of this season. He's slowly getting back on the tour. He wants to run 13.1 in the hurdles, which is a very fast time, but he's going to have to race himself back into shape. These athletes actually race themselves back into condition.
Greg Foster in lane 4 is out and takes the early lead, and Mark McCoy goes right with him in lane 5. It is Foster, McCoy, and then Sam Turner outside in lane 8 closing on them. It is Greg Foster, Sam Turner, it is Foster, Turner, and then Mark McCoy at the tape.
Charlie, Greg Foster showed that he does have the speed to run very quickly tonight. He was a little ragged, and that's why I think he likes having the heat in this competition, because he can kind of get his rhythm back. He hasn't had that many races. Watch, he wanders to the left, comes back in the center, controls that speed over the hurdles there. He had to back off a little bit over the last hurdle. He runs through the light that they use for the photo timing.
And here are the official results. In the first heat, Greg Foster's winning time is 13:28. Sam Turner finishes second, and Mark McCoy comes in third. Again, the first three qualify from each heat, plus the next two fastest times. In the second heat, Andre Phillips of the United States is in lane 2 with lane 1 open. Garji Bakosh of Hungary, second in Grand Prix points, is in lane 3. In lane 4 from the United States is Tony Campbell. Tony was 5th in the Olympics, plagued by injuries early this year. Tony Campbell of the United States in lane 4. In lane 5 is Wilbert Greaves of Great Britain. In lane 6, Daniele Fontecchio, Olympic semifinalist from Italy. Fontecchio in lane 6. In lane 7 from the United States and the NCAA champion, Henry Andrade. Andrade in lane 7, and rounding out the field from Spain in lane 8 is Javier Maracho, who attended Washington State. That is the field for the second heat.
Andre Phillips in lane 2 this year is the best 400-meter hurdler in the world. With Edwin Moses out, he's not competing. Tony Campbell in lane 4, like Greg Foster from the first heat, really welcomes the practice. He hasn't been competing that much.
Heat number 2, 110-meter hurdle. Andre Phillips in lane 2, far right of the screen with an excellent start. Tony Campbell goes out with him in lane 4. Henry Andrade in lane 7. It is Phillips, Campbell, and Andrade. Phillips, Campbell, and Andrade, and that's the way they will finish, with Fontecchio, I believe, 4th, and Bakosh may have come in 5th and may not make it to the final.
Andre Phillips showing what an incredible athlete he really is. Bruce Jenner kids him and says, Andre, when are you going to try the decathlon? Well, you look at him run the high hurdles. These are 6 inches higher than he's running in the intermediates, and yet he just handles them so well, handles the field. He'd make a great decathlete.
Here are the official results. Fontecchio finishes 4th. He'll move to the finals along with Zola from the first heat. Bakosh of Hungary does not make the finals.
Bud Light. Oh, the chili.
If you just ask for a light beer, you never know what you'll get. Give me a light. Bud Light. So if you want the less filling light beer with the first name and taste, don't just ask for a light beer.
Give me a light. No, Bud Light.
Bud Light. Because everything else is just a light.
He's not a national hero, but every year, thousands of people turn to him for protection. He's an independent insurance agent who rides with the Kemper Cavalry. He knows insurance. His job is to scout out the best values for your auto, home, life, health, or business. And when the chips are down, he's a good man to have on your side. Once you compare Kemper, you'll ride with us.
Well, I got horses coming in and out of here all day long. Mealtime can come differently every day. I get this gnawing in my belly.
Snickers satisfies you.
Nothing satisfies like Snickers. It's a good solid snack.
Packed with peanuts, peanut butter nougat, caramel, and milk chocolate. Mmm.
Snickers satisfies you.
Packed with peanuts, Snickers really satisfies.
When I'm feeling hungry, Snickers is one thing I know I can count on to satisfy me.
We're back in Rome for the Grand Prix finals. Here's a look at the point distribution through the previous races this season. You take your best 5 finishes. Double points here tonight in the Grand Prix finals, plus bonus points for setting or tying a world record, more than $500,000 to be distributed to the Athletes National Federation for their trust fund training. And if an athlete does not participate here tonight, receives only 1/2 of his money. The next event is the finals of the women's 400-meter hurdles. The world record is 53:58, held by Margarita Ponomariva of the Soviet Union. The American record is 54:66, co-held by Judy Brown King and Latanya Sheffield. Current Grand Prix point standings for this event: Judy Brown King is in first, Washak of Poland second, and Flintoff of Australia in third. Jackie Joyner has dropped out of this event to concentrate on the long jump, so lane 1 is open. Giuseppina Cerulli of Italy is in lane 2. She is the Italian record holder. Debbie Flintoff, the Australian record holder, is in lane 3. She finished 6th in the Olympic Games in Los Angeles. In lane 4, Judy Brown King of the United States, second in the overall women's Grand Prix standings to Mary Decker-Slaney. In lane 5 is Genowefa Błaszczak of Poland, who has won 4 Grand Prix races this season. Tuija Helander of Finland, currently 4th in the Grand Prix standings. She was 7th in the Olympics, and she is in lane 6. And in lane 7 from the United States is Tanya Brown, who is 5th in the Grand Prix standings, and she finished 2nd to Brown King in Brussels.
Judy Brown King is leading the way for the American women in this event. Traditionally, it's been an event where American women have not really participated. It's been dominated by the Eastern Bloc competitors. But with natural athletes like Judy Brown King starting to run these hurdles, I think very quickly the American women are going to dominate the event the way the American men do.
Women's 400-meter hurdles. 10 flights of hurdles. Judy Brown King in lane 4, and Debbie Flintoff of Australia in lane 3, closing just a bit of the stagger. Outside, it is Tanya Brown in lane 7.
Błaszczak of Poland pulling a little ahead of Judy Brown King, but you can see as they go over the hurdles, they're just about even in the middle of the backstretch.
So Błaszczak closing the stagger, and Brown King trying to close the stagger on Błaszczak. Brown King in lane 4, Błaszczak in lane 5. Outside, Tanya Brown in lane 7 as they come off the final turn.
And Błaszczak had to stutter her steps there. She's on Judy Brown King's right, so she fell way back. Judy Brown King ahead, coming onto the straightaway.
Judy Brown King of the United States, the Olympic silver medalist, is in the lead. Tanya Brown outside is in lane 7. Debbie Flintoff is in lane 3, but it is Judy Brown King to the tape. Flintoff just leading in for second place, an unofficial 54.40 that is under the American record if it stands up.
Judy Brown King is a wonderful looking athlete. She's tall, 180 centimeters, about 5'10", 5'11", and I think she's the kind of athlete that will dominate this event in the future. That's where we'll get back on the Eastern Europeans. You can see Debbie Flintoff on her left, coming on Tanya Brown, tying up.